Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
This is from Akash. Who is the ideal transfer quarterback for Auburn? I think I'd prefer Maalik Murphy over Jackson Arnold, but it's hard to evaluate Jackson Arnold given Oklahoma's wide receiver and offensive line situation this season. Ari, Maalik Murphy visiting Auburn. Jackson Arnold is scheduled to visit later this week. They've already they're taking Ashton Daniels, the Stanford quarterback. So they're going to bring in two, and that's, I would assume, the competition. And also you got Deuce Knight coming in as a freshman. Who you got, Jackson Arnold or Maalik Murphy? Because I know these are two guys that fascinate you.
They're both very fascinating. The thing that is difficult for me with Auburn, and the first thing I thought of is that, like, what was the number one criticism of Jackson Arnold's play this year?
I feel like it was all related to the situation more than...
He turned the ball over a ton.
That's true. That's true.
He turned the ball over
That's true.
ton. And what is Auburn's biggest issue with their quarterback?
Turning the ball over a ton, or a quarterback who turned the ball over a ton. Yes.
Now, we'll let the people who are cutting the checks and cashing the big ones for coaching decide whether or not those turnovers were a ailment that's going to travel, or if they were a byproduct of terrible skill position offensive line play around him.
Right. I would look at Arnold's more as, I got nothing, I got to make something happen, or nobody blocked anybody and they strip sacked me. Like, I don't look at it the same way I looked at the Peyton Thorne interceptions this year.
Okay, because I mean, he also did have unforced turnovers, so I'm not just going to blame Oklahoma, but also very young. So if you believe that Arnold's issues are very solvable through development of a good quarterback coach, then, like, I'm all in on doing it. Now, the thing that is difficult for me when it comes to Auburn is you might make a case, and I don't even know if I want to, but because I think that Maalik Murphy's ceiling is to the moon.
Oh, by the way, Maalik Murphy also had 12 interceptions this season to 26 touchdowns.
But his ceiling as a physical specimen is massive. Like, could he be like Anthony Richardson with accuracy when this is all said and done? I don't know if he runs as well, but he's a big-bodied freak who can throw the ball a mile. And this is what, how people fall in love with this stuff.
Yes.
But if Jackson Arnold cuts the turnovers and reaches the potential of being the 5-star, then, they both have very high ceilings, I think. And I'm always, Panini America. Like, I'm always looking for the highest ceilings and the best buys and the highest value. That said, like, I don't know if Auburn is in a position right now where they want to gamble on quarterback ceiling / development. Don't you think that Auburn should be going out and getting the most bona fide, what you're getting type of guy? And yes. I think that in this specific conversation that Maalik Murphy is probably more solidified in who he is than Jackson Arnold. And if you think that Maalik Murphy, as he played this past year, and guys, Duke went 9-3, like, he had a really good year.
Now, not great numbers. He only averages 7 yards per attempt. This show is brought to you by Panini America, makers of the most collectible sports cards on the planet. Visit PaniniAmerica.net to start collecting your favorite college and NFL stars. That Luminance series is the one you want if you're looking for, I don't know, a little Arch Manning NIL card, a little DJ Lagway, Tavian St. Clair, the new Ohio State quarterback signee. He signed with Panini last week, so I don't think his card's available yet, but I would imagine it's coming. Ari, I know you've got quite a few Panini cards just on your desk right now.
Yeah, I wish I could flip this camera around and show you the briefcases up there of the graded cards. Like, if I feel like if there was a fire in my house and my family was safe, I would run up here and get those cards. That would be the thing I would save. Some heat in there. And also, too, DJ Lagway, your boy, he sells, dude. People want him right now.
Justin Herbert autograph card. I guarantee DJ Lagway is selling right now. Guaranteed. I mean, because what you've taught me about this market is that everybody's really pumped about what's next. Mm-hmm. So the next is, DJ Lagway, there's a limited sample size of what you've seen as a starter. You're just imagining what he's going to be next year. Arch Manning, we're assuming Quinn Ewers is going to go to the NFL. You're assuming Arch Manning's going to start in the semis if Texas gets that far. But he's the next. And so that's what everybody's excited about. And if you want to hop in on that excitement, start ripping packs. PaniniAmerica.net to collect your favorite college and NFL stars.
Yeah.
So he's not the most efficient. He's a 60% completion percentage, which, you know, that in today's day and age, that's just okay.
Yeah. So who do I think should fit better? I mean, I think that both would be electric and one of the biggest stories of the offseason. But I sometimes think to myself when it comes to Auburn, you just need to go get somebody who's pretty good.
Well, that's the thing. If Cam Coleman is as good as we think he's going to be, if some of these skill guys that Auburn is bringing in are as good as we think they're going to be, then I think there's a chance that the quarterback is going to be made better by the skill guys. Now, you mentioned Maalik Murphy. Jackson Arnold is probably the better runner scrambler here.
Yeah, right.
Maalik Murphy had negative 79 rushing yards. And remember, sacks are included here. But that's a guy who is there to throw. He ain't there to run. So
I think that rule is stupid, by the way. I can't stand that rule.
Well,
also, the thing I like what Auburn's doing is that they're like, okay, guys, we're going to have a competition, right? Like they're not just guaranteeing a spot. And like, what if we get to the end of the road next year in the fall and like Deuce Knight's just the best one? Like,
or Ashton Daniels, right? And I think that may help solve your problem there. It may make your decision for you because one person may say, I'm only going where I can start. Or where I know I'm going to start. And another person may say, I'm happy to compete. I guarantee you want the person who's happy to compete. I guarantee you that person has a better chance of success than the one who says, I want the guaranteed starting job. I'm not saying, I'm not putting that on Maalik Murphy or Jackson Arnold. I'm just saying that's usually how these situations work. And so if you got someone who understands that they're coming in and Ashton Daniels is going to be there and Deuce Knight's going to be there, and they want to play quarterback for Auburn next year too, and they think they're the best person to play quarterback for Auburn next year, and you're willing to compete with them, I think that's a good thing for Auburn.